Wow. And we're here for our 7th anniversary movie. We allowed the listeners to
That's
pick
right. That's right. It was
out
a
of
vote.
a medley of like space and swords and sorcery movies for
Yeah.
whatever reason. For as much as we like hated Red Sonja, like I don't know why we chose these movies that we did for people to choose from. And it kind of wasn't even close.
And
Yeah.
this movie, after having seen it and knowing that our listeners voted on it, I'm kind of questioning our listeners a little bit in their
Are you
sanity.
really? You think so? You think so?
You
What
silly
is it-
listeners!
What is
What
it about
my
the movie that would question?
well,
you know,
here's one thing: is we were kids in the '80s, right? My little kid '80s brain could not have wrapped itself around something. I mean, granted, I was Natty Ganning and I was Little Orphan Annieing and all of that, so this was not in my scope.
I can't imagine
But
that
I can't-
a lot of our listeners saw this at the time, and even saw it at the time and went, "This is amazing." Because I'm a child, I totally understand what's happening here. I have a feeling that this is a movie that people
Later in
stumbled
life?
upon later
Okay.
in life, and
Okay.
we're like, "This is a weird little sci-fi movie that I kind of didn't know much about."
If
by
you-
a director that I know a lot about, like I don't know.
If you
Go
are
ahead.
a listener that
Yeah.
saw this in their childhood years, I either want to really get to know you a little more, or I want you to stay very far away from me.
All right, I thought you were going to say, or I want to have a conversation with your parents.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah, I want-
ask them why they allowed you to watch this.
Yeah, I have some questions.
So the astronaut. So Patrick Stewart comes to. I love before he injects him, and Patrick Stewart's like, "Oh, you don't need to do that. It's totally fine. I'll just tell you everything I know," and he totally doesn't give him a shot, and he. Like Patrick Stewart, it switches from Patrick Stewart and the naked woman back and forth as this guy's talking to her. When he is screaming into Sir Patrick Stewart's face, "Why do you have to be so beautiful? Why do you have to be perfect?" I lost it. I thought that was one of the funniest parts of this movie. It's so great. It's so funny and it's cute. And just the fact that Patrick Stewart
He's just
sat
laying there.
during this
Yeah,
was
yeah.
totally funny.
Just laying there. Wait. They interrogate him though for
Yes,
a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while, but then he sort of, like, because he didn't inject him with more truth serum, he has the power to, I don't know, start shocking things and making a big tornado in this room that kills Pocket Square.
Yeah. I mean, we got to have some casualties.
When the
Right.
scaredy doctor runs in after and looks down and goes, "I think his neck's broken." At first I was like, everyone's accounted for. I don't know who this guy's talking about. But it's just a minor character who's been there the whole time but has done nothing important.
And now was just killed like by all the collision. Not even the
Yep.
life force sucked out of him. He was just knocked, broke his neck in like
Like a professional wrestler, he was hit with a folding chair, but he died.
like a professional wrestler. He besides yelling him at Patrick Stewart that he's perfect
Yeah, of
and
course.
beautiful.
What else would you yell at Patrick
He
Stewart?
also yells to him, "Let me go, let me go," because he wants to be released from this bond that they have.
Yeah.
I also made when the doctor walks in the door and everything like spinning around and crazy in there, the doctor makes a really surprised face. Can you see it?
I did want to pause the TV at that point and take a picture and send it to you. It is like he thinks he's in a comedy. The way this doctor enters this room is like he opened a room and they're all throwing pies at each other.
His eyes bulge out and he's like, "What?"
The reaction is is not appropriate to what's happening.
I mean, they were like, you have to act surprised. He's like, I got it. Woo!
I know what's.
Wait, not
I
that
know
kind.
what surprise means.
Okay. But yeah, let's see. It's still spreading. It's spreading at an unknown rate.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Speak up. You can't hear you. What are all these notes I've written? What is this?
I have no idea what you're doing. Long story short, the inspector takes 2 needles. And
I think
injects
my
Patrick
life force
Stewart.
was being taken out of me when I was writing some of this. Go ahead. You know, he injects. Yeah, they get Stewart once the shit starts flying. They're like, we've got to get him.
They double dose him,
sedated. Yeah.
and then get in a helicopter. And they're like, I don't know. Let's put these 2 corpses in this helicopter. I guess they killed Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart he's kind of sedated enough
All right,
at first. They want to sedate him, but while he's sedated, this is crazy. When he's in the ship, the helicopter, sorry, and Patrick Stewart is unconscious, all of a sudden his face, right? What happens to his face?
It becomes a puppet.
Oh, yes. And then the puppet's face starts spitting blood,
Right.
splats of blood coming out of him.
We've seen life forces drained. We've seen space aliens. I didn't know that this was part of it. Blood flies out of his mouth and
out of his
eyes, and
eyes,
his nose.
Uh-huh.
It also
and it's
happens to
forming
pocket
something.
square.
It's coming into like this big clot in front of them, free-formed, like floating clot that grows as more blood spits out of this puppet face, Patrick Stewart face.
Yes.
And then this blood clot becomes the girl soaked in blood.
Yeah, she's all gooey and like her hair looks like tentacles or something. She looks really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And they're freaking. This helicopter pilot who turns around is like, ah! This guy has the most natural reaction of anyone in this movie. He's flipping out. And then she just like blops down into a pile of blood and is gone. And then the astronaut's like, I know where she is. Her body's in London. Okay, great. Way to narrow it down to the largest city in England.
But now...
and also, after this pilot was just flipping out at this, he goes, oh, hey, you have a call from that big...
Oh, I love how many calls they get, and he has to keep transferring the call. Oh, wait, and now they're saying something on the thing, you know.
On the news. Yeah. At one point, he's like, you got to check out the news, too. I'm like, shouldn't you be driving this helicopter?
Yeah, why don't you focus on... But so London's in deep shit. There's zombies have taken over
There's zombies
London.
And the whole city's blowing up.
Mm-hmm. And it's been quarantined.
Yes. Also, this is where Big Hair Doctor's like, these aliens, they've been to Earth before.
Oh,
Bye.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, gives no reason for him knowing this. I think he probably just says, I just know it. And they take his word for it.
Uh-huh.
And so now this movie sort of changes for the rest of the movie.
Oh, now it's a zombie movie.
I kind of was out on the movie at this point. I really enjoyed everything that led up to London, but now at this point, things drag on way too long. There's too much zombie stuff for me, so I'm just giving it away now. I was just kind of, even in my notes at this point, I wrote ending, thinking the movie was going to end soon.
No, but we have a little more to get to. Yeah, we have a little more to get to. Because, they
go to the Prime Minister.
Yeah, they go to London. They go on to see the Prime Minister. They go to his office, which is chaos, because London right now is chaos. And they were going to meet with the Prime Minister.
Still offered tea, though.
Because the lady, I think, that offered them tea hasn't had her life force sucked out. She's not zombified yet. They don't know who is. And when they go to meet with the Prime Minister... He's sweaty too, and he's like, "Yeah, hi, how's it going? Yeah, I got to talk to the lady over here. I'm going to talk to her." And they see them; they're both dudes, the commander and the investigator, watch them chat, and they don't really chat. You see them just start making out, and all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we got to get the fuck out of here. Prime Minister's infected. We got to go. We're out."
It is fun because it's like, well, we just did that whole thing with special effects in the helicopter. These two go like behind a map.
Yeah.
And you just
see their shadows. Yeah. So they hop back on the helicopter. 2 zombies try to get on the helicopter with them, but they knock the zombies off.
Right.
They find out that the helicopter guy, again, he's got a lot of information. Now the British Army has been quarantined, and they're
Something
trying
about
to
NATO, all sorts of stuff. This guy is a fountain of knowledge.
He's getting it all from his headset. There's been, I wrote down nuclear sterilization. I think they're about to, because if shit gets really out of hand, they're going to have to nuke.
Yeah, it's kind of like, listen, we're just going to blow up London and figure it out after that.
Yeah, because if we can't let this spread outside of here. We've quarantined as best we can, but
yeah. Oh, then they're talking because they see this blue light in the middle of London.
Oh yeah, now the ship's coming closer.
The astronaut's like, well, that's just a bunch of human souls going up there.
Yeah.
And the other inspector's like, how do you know? He goes, I can feel it.
Yeah.
All right.
Because he's connected. We find out how connected he is.
And he knows where she is. Like, he's really pinpointed, like, she is in some sort of church.
Yeah.
He sees her. They, again, finally put clothes on this woman. She's lying down on a slab. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, I got to go. And they won't let him go for a bit. And he's yelling now. He's like, she chose me to mate with. Like, I totally don't want to do it, but I understand that maybe I'll have to do it. And, you know. And he kind of, like, sneaks away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. And then the investigator guy goes and chases him, commandeers a vehicle, which I'm commandeering this vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Against...
You know that person's dead, which is a shame. The person he took the vehicle from, that person was eaten by zombies.
Yeah, he was. Okay.
You know, just pour one out for that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does. This turns into a zombie movie for a very long time. Yeah. He runs over zombies. At one point,
there's an arm in the car with him. Yeah, there's an arm in the car with him. And that's why I don't know how you didn't remember Carlson's name. As the commander is getting closer to the naked alien, she is calling him Carlson. Oh. She wants him.
Again, the way, like...
But you were done with this movie by then.
Well, the way her voice is on this, where, like you said... Carlson. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It was a little tough to understand what she was saying.
Well, she's saying his name.
All right.
Anyway, London's on fire. There's dead bodies. She's in the church. There's the blue light to the sky with the dead bodies. I'm just doing bullet points here.
That's fine.
Oh, finally we get back to the white-haired man. Like, we were gone from him for a while. And the investigator goes to see him. Yeah.
Because the inspector. That's where the astronaut went.
Yes.
Is back to Space Headquarters Central.
Right.
Yeah. And this, what happened to him?
Somehow, because he's talking to him but not getting close to him at first, and explains about the sword and the whole bit. But somehow he still got infected. And the investigator realizes this. He's like, stay back, stay back. I don't know how, because he has the sword.
What does infected mean?
I think
in
some
this
of your
movie. How are all these people in the streets dying and being turned into zombies?
Well, I think it's like an energy exchange, sometimes more intense than others, maybe.
Does it have to do with the ship?
Well, once the ship is in London, I think it heightens it a little more.
Because I was like, well, these aliens,
but
they're taking people out one at a time.
Before the ship arrives, I think it's just the aliens doing it as they can. And then maybe, I don't know the protocol there, but maybe once they've reached a certain number, like 100 or so, then it gave the ship more, life force or energy to come closer to Earth. I don't know, but I'm guessing that
I do like that idea how you're looking at this as though it's a video game and you're like, all I have to do is take 100 people's life forces
and then the ship will come closer and then the ship will help me take care of the rest, and it'll start sucking the souls up and make the bats inside the ship grow again into more people. I don't know. Carlson, when does he explain? Carlson does some explaining.
It's earlier.
Oh, okay.
That's when he's talking about how she wants to mate with him and stuff like that.
But he says how he thinks that he might be one of them, right?
Yes.
And that's why he thinks that they're so very connected, and that he explains that she was made out of the image that he had of the
Right.
perfect woman.
And
Or
that's
maybe
why
she
didn't
explains that to
kill-
him.
She explained it to him, but that's why she didn't kill him on the space shuttle.
Right.
Allowed him to live, just killed the rest of the people because
Right.
they are meant to be together for some reason.
To keep creating more. Or maybe they're... I
More
don't know.
space vampires?
I don't know. But she is created in the image of his perfect woman, which explains why he says to her, like, why do you have this hold on me? Why am I so
Right.
crazy for you? And she's like, because I got inside of your brain and I took the everything that you've ever wanted from a woman, I embody. And not only that, I'm not just physically irresistible to you. You can't energetically, break away from me.
Great.
Life force. That was good. You like
That's
that?
good. No,
Yeah.
that was a good explanation or a good summation of sort of what she says.
Yeah. I'm sweating just as much as the rest of them now.
You're like,
No.
"Oh, no wonder you were so sweaty. It takes a lot out of you just to say these words.